A few months back, I saw a post on Reddit that really got me thinking, and it's kind of stuck with me. And the post was about someone who had started a software service company, and he used personal videos in order to close sales. So what he would do is if someone signed up for a free trial for his software, he would send them a personal video saying, "Hi, I'm the owner, thanks for signing up," and in an attempt to close them or to transition them into a paid user, he would give this personal touch. And I've thought about it for quite a while, and I try to live in a way that if I read a good idea or see a good idea, to try and apply it, not just read it and see it and be like, oh, that's a good idea, and then nothing ever happens, because a good idea isn't worth anything. It's the execution that's worth something. So I kept thinking, okay, how can I apply this to my company, or how can I experiment with this? So I came up with the idea of going through anyone who had received a moving quote from us. So this is inbound sales. People had called us, received a quote, their information's in our system. I would try and send them a personal video that introduces me, talks about the company, talks about the quote, thanks them for even considering us, send that off to them and see if that affects the closing rates at all. And the idea here is that by doing this, we're going to stand out so much more than the competition, because I've never heard of anyone doing something like this. And I know if I was just calling around getting random quotes for a local service company and one company went that above and beyond, the owner introduced himself, gave me some selling points, went over my quote, went that far above and beyond, I would immediately have a lot of trust for that company, even if they were charging more than the competitors. So I think me personally and the people that I've asked have all thought that this is potentially something that's huge for closing more and more sales, closing that gap on quotes to sales. So I'm going to try and take the most scientific approach I can on this and limit as many variables as I can. So I'm going to try and talk about the same points in every single video, address people the same by name, send them the same email with all the same information. That way I can compare everyone who hasn't received this in the past to all the future people who will receive this video in the future. And I know that this isn't a sustainable thing. We get tons of quotes, and for me to personally take 5 minutes and send each and every one a personal message isn't sustainable, but that's not really the point here. The point is just to proof of concept, see that this works. It's going to take me 5, 10, 15 hours to run this whole experiment. Then if it works, then I can worry about making it sustainable, possibly delegating it out to other people, figuring out how to make it work without me in the picture. But the important part is just to prove that the concept works first before I build out all these systems, potentially taking way more time. So I'm just going to prove the concept first. I'm going to figure out the best way to do this, best way to send people videos with the quotes in an email body, and we'll get right into it.
Hi Anthony, my name is Max. Hi Chris, my name is Max, and I'm the owner of Skinny Went Moving. Hi Savannah, my name is Max. I'm the owner of Skinny Went Moving Company here in Phoenix.
So here's the problem I've been having. You can't send a video directly in an email that's playable within the email, and I just don't think people are going to be super likely to click a link from this strange fella named Maher who just randomly emailed them and they've never talked to before. So I've been trying to figure out how I could increase the engagement on that end. I haven't started yet, but I did some research and I found that there's 2 services that allow you to record a video and then it'll email a GIF of that video to whoever you want. And that GIF is clickable, and once you click it, it brings you to the full version of that video. So that way you can kind of see that it's not like some kind of scam link. And I think the engagement will be much higher with this type of sending. The 2 different services, there's one that's called BombBomb and the other that's called Loom. BombBomb is more expensive. It's like $400 a year. Loom is like $8 a month, but there's a free version that I think actually will allow me to do everything I need to do with this experiment. So I'm going to try that out first before I spend any kind of money. With the videos itself, I'm going to write a script with like 5 different points on them, and I'm going to try and be as consistent as possible with each video. I'm going to talk about how it's our #1 goal to focus on our customers' comfort, because we know that there's tons of other things going on during a move, and we just don't want them to have to stress about movers, how we train our guys to be efficient and proficient at protecting furniture, how we want to be, like I said, as efficient as possible. By the time they receive the bill, that they'll be happy that they used us. They'll want to use us again in the future. They'll want to refer us to their friends. And then I'm going to go over the quote as well.
because with Loom it allows you to be on the screen and record the screen as well. So that's actually kind of cool. I'm going to talk about their individual quote and make the videos even that much more personalized because I'm right there talking about the quote. So altogether, I think that this is actually going to be a really good customer experience and really stand out because who is doing anything like this in a service-based business, especially something that's not like, it's not like we're $1 million sales. So I think it'll really stand out, and I have pretty good hopes with this experiment. I think it's going to be quite successful, and I think it's going to be able to be applied to lots of different businesses, but this is what we're testing, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to try out this Loom app first. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of trial and error at first. I'm sure I'm going to stumble over my words until I get my script down. But then I'll kind of get into a groove and be able just to knock them out piece after piece after piece after piece. All right, so I've done about 38 of these so far, and it took about 37 of them before I was actually decent at saying what I'm trying to say without making too many mistakes. So far, this Loom app has worked perfectly, so I don't think I'm going to change that over. I'm hitting all my points in all these videos. I'm making them as consistent as possible. And here's an example video that I sent to one of my clients.
Hey Joe, how's it going? My name is Max. I'm the owner of Skinny Went Moving Company here in Phoenix. I just wanted to send you this quick message. First, to say thanks for reaching out to us and requesting a quote. I really do appreciate that. Secondly, I wanted to talk about our company a little bit and then go over your quote as well. So about our company at Skinny Went Moving, we are all about our customers' comfort. And the reason for that is we know that while a move is going on, there are a million other things you'd rather think about than what the movers are doing in the other rooms. So we make sure that we can alleviate that extra stress by ensuring our guys are completely trained and efficient and proficient at wrapping it and protecting all your furniture items. That way nothing's ever going to get scratched or damaged or dinged. And then secondly, our goal is by the time you receive the bill at the end of the job, you'll be like, wow, that was money well spent. I'm glad I hired these guys. You'll want to use this again in the future, potentially refer us to your friends. And that way we're just doing it the right way. We're here to build lifelong relationships and get repeat business. And we just really take pride in what we do. And like I said, we want to do it the right way. So it's enough about us. Let's go over the quote here real quick. Looks like we quoted you a 4-man crew, $180 an hour for that, for your 4-bedroom home. Looks pretty straightforward. I don't see anything tricky or anything like that. Believe it or not, we do more than 1,000 moves every single year here in the Phoenix area alone. So I'm totally confident in us and our guys and our ability to knock this out for you, and I would love the opportunity to do so. So again, thanks for reaching out to us, and I hope to hear from you soon.
And I wrote up a nice email as well that'll go along with each video, and I'll show you that here. Here is the email that I send to each and every one of the clients along with the video. As you can see, I introduce myself first, and then I say I'm sending you this quick video just to go over your quote. It has their name along with watch video, so they know it's not just a GIF, but also a video. If they click that link, it directs them to the actual video. Each video is about 1.5 minutes long. And then below that, it's a little, if you'd like to get scheduled, here's our phone number. We hope to hear from you soon. And then also I attached this additional little value add. It's a move checklist that our clients have liked a lot. Basically goes over all the various things anyone could possibly need 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week out from a move. And people have found it super valuable. So a little extra value add there to really make ourselves positioned as the experts in this field. And I think it probably will help a tiny bit more on even more conversions in this. Just sent my 250th video. I'm starting to feel like a robot saying this over and over and over, but I'm halfway there.
My name is Max. I'm the owner of Skinny Went Moving Company here in Phoenix. Sorry about that. Something just fell off my desk. Anyways, I wanted to send you this quick video. First, to say thanks for reaching out to us and requesting a quote. Really do appreciate that. And then second, I wanted to...
It's official. That's 500 videos down. Now I'll wait a couple weeks, get the results all tallied, and I'll be right back. All right, the experiment is done, and man, was this a long one. 500 videos sent out, 500 times saying the exact same pitch every single time. This pitch is
literally ingrained in my mind and will probably never forget it. So how I want to do this was to take the most scientific approach possible, eliminate all outside influences, and I had a little bit of struggle with that in the beginning on deciding how exactly I wanted to measure the effectiveness of sending these videos to quotes. Because I thought if I just took the number of calls versus number of book sales, there's a lot of outside influences that might not have anything to do with me on why there might be a fluctuation of some kind. So what I decided on was to only use the metric of quotes that were given and not booked right on the spot, but booked later. So someone calls in, requests a quote, says, okay, thanks, I'll call you guys back, and then later calls back and books with us, as opposed to someone who gets a quote on the phone right away, books right then and there. That has nothing to do with what I'm doing in this experiment. So I took a baseline of the same amount of jobs before I started this experiment of jobs that were quotes that later turned into bookings. And then I compared that sample set baseline metric to the same thing after my experiment was done. I allowed a buffer time of 3 weeks after I completed it. That way people could filter in, if someone ended up booking 2 weeks later or whatever. Took that same metric, calls that later turned into bookings, and compared the two. And I'm happy to say that there was an increase of 6% in sales closed that were sent a video directly by me. Now that might not sound like a lot, but I sent out 500 of these videos. So 6%, let's calculate this out real quick. 500 times 0.06, that's 30 additional jobs booked, and at an average job price of $675, that is $20,250 in additional sales booked simply from sending a 1-minute video to each of the quotes, a personalized 1-minute video. So I think that's pretty awesome return, especially considering that each video only took 3 to 4 minutes to record, send the canned email, everything like that. So it was a pretty darn good return. But even better off, I noticed this trend as I was going through the data that the smaller jobs for us, which for us that's like moving a studio apartment, maybe a smaller 2-bedroom apartment, actually were affected much less by me sending them a video. There was much more impact on the larger jobs, the long distance ones, the maybe 4, 5, 6-bedroom homes. Basically anything over a 3-bedroom, there was a lot more effectiveness from me sending a video to those customers, those types of people. So actually with the smaller moves, the studio type moves, the effectiveness was only around like 3 or 4%, but then with the larger moves, it was around 9 or 10%. So there's something to have to do with the type of customer. They appreciated more that extra touch. These are the people who the average move is, between $1,000 to $3,000, much higher ticket. Honestly, the jobs that I want to get, those are much more valuable to me. So in using this data, I'm actually going to keep doing this, but only for the larger jobs. And the reason for that is those are the ones that make me more money. I want to focus on that kind of clientele. And that way it's kind of an 80-20. That is what's most effective. It's just all around the better business decision here. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to delegate this out to someone who can do it for me. That way I'm not putting my man hours directly on this. I can focus on experimenting on other things and growing the business in other ways. So I'm super excited with this experiment, and this can basically be applied to any type of business. I think really the bigger the sale, the more effective this is going to be. Basically any salesman can use this strategy for their business or a business that they work at. And I really think this is going to be a breakthrough in the closing rate of sales. And I'm really excited for you all to try this, report back and see how the effectiveness works for you. Little tweaks maybe in scripts that you use. Maybe test a canned video versus personalized video and check the effectiveness of that for your individual business. So videos like this, this video took me over 50 hours to make. So a ton of effort went into this video, and if you appreciate this effort, you appreciate the insights, the best you can do for me to help me out is by liking this video, leaving a comment, any kind of interaction, sharing it. There's no other way for the YouTube algorithm to know that I'm doing my job properly than to interact with the content. So I would really appreciate if you gave it a like, dropped a comment, subscribe to me if you don't already. I would really appreciate that. That influences me to keep doing what I'm doing, keep providing this, this content, keep running tests on my businesses. And I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a profitable day.